Good morning, East Castle Place. How's everybody doing? Alright, welcome to this edition with Coffee with Tyler. I hope everybody's got their favorite drink of choice. Again, kind of spoiled myself, treated myself with Starbucks right down on the corner of Webster and Downer. And enjoy the first sip with me. Alright, let's jump into it. COVID-19. Where are we? How do we stand? And what's the latest? So, COVID-19, as you've seen in the news, continues to affect and be a part of the lives that we live every day. You've seen the increased number of cases across Milwaukee as well as across the U.S. And so, again, what steps is East Castle Place taking? Where do we stand? The steps that we're taking continue to be wearing, our masks, washing our hands, and again, watching our distances. I've seen this. I don't know if this came up from the CDC or the health department or one of the leaders in healthcare, but the 3 W's. And so that's what we're focusing on. We also continue our very strict and strong screening protocols that we have here at East Castle Place, as well as the continued testing. You've seen throughout the last couple of weeks that we've had some cases in employees at East Castle Place. I'm happy to share with you that the cases that have been previously reported, the vast majority of those cases are recovered and also have returned to work. So that's great news. We did experience just a couple of additional cases this week. Again, we're testing close to 80 to 100 employees each week, including residents of our health center. We're also testing residents that may appear symptomatic or from some of that contact tracing. So again, our rate is still pretty strong. Again, not as strong as previous, but to be honest, I think that's a little bit expected at this point. Of course, we want to safeguard against any COVID entering East Castle Place, but with cases on the rise and kind of where we're at, we need to continue to take the steps to mitigate the effect on our residents at large, as well as the spread to the community at large. And so we continue to see through our testing that we're not community acquiring the COVID-19. What that means is the individuals that have tested positive recently continue to come from the outside, meaning they may have worked at East Castle Place in the last 14 days, but maybe 1 or 2 times, and they are not related or linked to previous cases. And so we know that because we have other employees that are working side by side or along with them, wearing their proper PPE, which again is the greatest defense, and they don't have it. Again, that tracing and the testing is strong. Again, with over 100 tests per week, these cases continue. Staff have been very good at being very transparent with us when they do present with symptoms. They are then held off the schedule and not coming into the building, going through essentially our drive-through and being tested, both with our rapid test as well as an additional test. Those tests, even with employees that are being held symptomatically out, if they test negative, they're being held out until those symptoms subside and the additional test is also negative. We've worked with the staff to ensure that they're continuing to be monitored and supported, and we continue to have a great infection control individual in Roxanne Farr, who is on the phone along with Lindsay V. Good and Ashley Drummond weekly, if not daily at some points, with our health department to maintain compliance, to maintain we are taking the right steps and protocols in place. All will try to continue the services that you here at East Castle Place expect and deserve. So again, this situation, I know, man, it's now well over 7 months. We're hitting our 8th month soon. It's here, and it's here to stay, unfortunately. However, we're going to get through this. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. We're going to get through this. We have to. Through everything I've seen, through the staff that I work with and communicate with, we're going to get through this. And so again, we have to continue to do our jobs. A couple of those jobs include wearing your masks everywhere at all times, I also know that a few of you are socially distancing and getting together. Again, I'm not going to say let's do that, let's make that happen, but you've also heard me talked about the socialization and wellness aspect of your lives. If you are getting together with loved ones in the courtyard, if you're seeing individuals or other residents in the dining room and maybe elsewhere in the community, please, I urge you, wash your hands and wear your masks. And if you do have any symptoms, I need you to let Teresa Jenkins know, let myself know, and stay isolated in your apartment. We will come to you, we will support you, and make sure that you have everything that you need. Now, I'm happy to report that you're all doing your jobs. We don't have any residents currently in the community. All 200 plus residents that have no cases of COVID-19. Again, that's a pretty incredible stat, but we want to keep that stat. So again, please, please, please continue to wear your masks around the community and when you're visiting with each other. Also, I ask that in the event that your loved ones or you've come in contact, to let us know so that we just have a heads up. We'll probably want you to stay isolated for a bit. If you're going outside the community for an extended period of stay somewhere, I will be asking you to quarantine for 14 days. That's again just the best guidance that we have and best precaution that we have so that we mitigate the risk to other individuals and to ensure that you're safe. So again, I appreciate everybody following the protocols. I appreciate everybody taking care and keeping a heightened awareness of this. We've never, I mean, in my career, I've never had to experience something where we've had to have this heightened of understanding for this length of time. So it's pretty incredible, and we're going to get through this. You'll also see a part of the COVID mitigation steps that we've taken is we've recently completed a sink in the front lobby area. There's a couple things that need to get finished up on that, and we'll hopefully have that in the next week or so. But again, that's for you. That's for the visitors. That's for our staff. That's an additional precaution that we want to take, especially with flu season. We know hand sanitizer is important and you need to use that, but washing your hands for the happy birthday song, so to speak, and making sure you're scrubbing all areas is ultimately better than the sanitized. And so we wanted to put in a nice sink. That temporary sink that we've had for the last 6 months is now gone, or should be gone here shortly. And that sink is for you. And so the housekeeping team, as well as the maintenance staff, as well as the rest of the administrative staff, will monitor, make sure that that is kept clean, as well as is a part of East Castle Place. We wanted to make sure that it fit with that front lobby area, and I think they did a nice job in doing that. So please feel free to utilize that. We also are finalizing our direction on what COVID visits look like in the upcoming future. The weather's turning a little colder. We know, unfortunately, as I film this, it's the 1st of October. Can't believe that. September is here and gone. But October starts, definitely falls upon us. And so we want to know what that looks like. And so we will have guidance for you in independent living for what that looks like, as well as for our community at large. And so Eric, myself, Lindsay, Ashley, Paige, and Roxanne Farr are coming up with the best plan so that we can continue to make sure that we're able to have loved ones visit the East Castle Place. In the meantime, if you have questions about that, concerns about that, or it's something of that nature, please continue to let me know or let the front desk know so that we can continue to monitor that. Again, we're just mitigating the risks to the best of our ability, and again, you play a vital part in that. So keep up the good work. Thank you for what you've done. So I mean, I've said that a million times, but keep up the fight. Stay ECP strong. I had the opportunity last week to join Cooper and Pay. Who was that with? Cooper, Paulicia, Paige, and I think Lisette. All continue to pass out some happy hour drinks along with the bracelet. ECP Strong, I encourage you to wear that. Those were given to all of our staff, along with some t-shirts that I hope you all saw everybody wearing on Friday, as well as a great picture that was taken in appreciation for our staff. So the words of encouragement to the staff, to myself, to the directors and leaders here at East Castle Place continue to be amazing. Your board of directors is fully informed of everything that's going on here at East Castle Place as well, and they give you their continued support and are very appreciative of everything that we have with that. So again, your masks, washing your hands, and watching your distance. So again, let's put ourselves in the best situations possible. I know that cases are on the rise. I think they're going to continue to be on the rise from everything I'm seeing. Of course, we want that to stop and to mitigate that to the best of our ability. But it is the environment that we're in and what we have to work through. And so we'll work through that together and we'll stay ECP strong. All right, I'm going to grab another sip of coffee. I encourage you to do the same. All right, a couple other things. I hope everybody had the opportunity to watch the State of the Castle. Couple of great updates there. And also, I'm very happy because the band's getting back together. What do I mean by that? Well, Laura Wangler's returned to work. Lori Meckley is returning to work as well. And so it'll be great to have the two of them back leading their groups and teams. And, you know, just having the director team as well as the rest of the staff all working their hardest and their best in the efforts for you in letting you know what's all going on and the services prepared for you. We had the flu shot clinic yesterday. Walgreens was here on site. I know that if you're watching this, you say, well, shoot, I forgot that. Have no fear. Walgreens is still providing flu shots. You can walk down to the CVS. I'll talk with Laura today and see if transportation might be able to do a sign up and do maybe a flu shot and take a few of you to Walgreens if that's necessary. Otherwise, phone a friend. But Walgreens will not be back on site. We do not have, unfortunately, their availability. We've talked to them. Teresa Jenkins has worked with them. However, they have not been able to confirm with us that they'll be able to come back on site. We know how vital the flu shots are. Our staff have all received it. We have mandatorily made that a priority. And so, again, for your protection as well as theirs, but do as well, I encourage you to do your part in getting your flu shot. If you haven't, again, Walgreens will not be back on site. So we're going to ask that you get that off site at your local CVS or Walgreens. And make sure you just bring your insurance card as well as your photo ID and working with that. So flu shots, again, are not coming back to East Castle. We've worked with Walgreens, but they have not been able to commit with us. We'll keep engaging them, but again, best bet is to go out on your own and get that. Window washing is scheduled for the week of October 12th. You'll see a memo in your mailbox here shortly, and your windows will be cleaned. So that's about a week-long project, and Eric and the team will work with that. And again, if there's screens that need to be replaced or things of that nature, we'll take care of that at that time as well. But window washing, a memo will be hitting your box for October 12th, so they're clean for the holidays. What else is going on? I'm excited to sit down and work with Laura again and the rest of her team to see what we have planned for October. I know Carlos as well as Laura have been in discussions about some exciting events that may be happening. Again, making sure that we're socially distancing, making sure that we're making it as safe as possible for you all. We also, I get to work with Laura. We got a few chairs that are in my office, and I think that we'll want to have you all try those out. We're replacing the Lindsay Hall chairs, and so that's great news. Again, the board of directors approved the budget that we are now in as of October 1st. We're in our new fiscal year, and part of that was brand new chairs for Lindsay Hall. I think you can all agree that these are needed. However, due to COVID, I can't just leave them out. So we'll probably set up maybe a half-hour time frame where, again, I have a staff member present and be able to wipe down those chairs and things of that nature in between uses so that we can get your take. Again, this isn't a Tyler decision. We want the decision to make the best, make the most sense for the majority of you that say, yeah, this is the chair. If you say, hey, either chair works, they're better than what we have, great. But we'll try probably in the next week to make that, and then obviously there'll be some time lapse between when we actually get the chairs and to have them. So look for that. And again, we're just trying to do that as safe as possible. Usually I just put out the 2 chairs, put out a ticket to vote, but again, we just want to make sure they're sanitized in between, taking extra precaution there. So be on the lookout for that. Also, there was something that I had on my mind and now I forgot. Oh boy, this is what happens. I don't want to say baby brain. My wife has that excuse. Well, maybe that's all I really have for you. Quick, short, brief, and update for you as residents of East Castle Place on this Coffee with Tyler. I had been out of the office. Just a couple things had gone on personally that precluded me from being in the office, but I stayed connected with my team. And if there is something I missed, please let me know. Oh, I know. Voting. Gary and a number of residents have stepped up and helped residents in the voting process. Again, I know that there was some questions or maybe concerns regarding that process. I think Gary and the residents have kind of submitted kind of the process along with what the election officials have guided us to do here at East Castle Place. If there's questions or concerns about that, please feel free to share those. But if you have shared, do know that those are addressed. We want your voice to be heard, and we want it to be heard in the most and best fashion. That's personal to you, it's private to you, and again, we want to uphold that. And so again, we're taking extraordinary steps to make sure that that happens, and then to make sure your ballots, if necessary, and you need some assistance with that. Obviously, we're not saying you need to vote for this candidate or whatnot. That's completely up to you. But again, if you have questions about that, Kathy Johnson, Joe Schmidt, Marion Pullman, Gary are just a few individuals that can assist with you on that, and they're great resources. They've been at it for a long time and they're passionate about it. So I encourage you to ask those questions. Again, it's not partisan by any means, and so what your vote is important, and who that is for is your decision, nobody else's. So again, I urge you to vote with the upcoming election, and again, see where that takes us. Speaking of voting, the resident council, your votes will be heard soon. I'm excited to welcome in our next council, but I also want to take a moment to say thank you to the current council. Libby Sellers, Judy Anderson, Marion Frelly, I should have a list in front of me, Larry Hammond, Betty Perman. Who am I missing? Oh, there's so many that I'm missing. I'm so sorry if you're on the council and you're watching this. My mind is not quite up to speed. I should have that list. Anyways, to the current council, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. I've had the opportunity to work with you month over month or week by week, and many times you've done so much for the community. You've been your voice for your fellow residents, and you know, man, I look back at when I started with many of you 3 years ago, upcoming on 3 years, and the things that we've been able to accomplish together. And so I look forward to working with the next council. But again, I want to share the appreciation I have with the current council members. You welcomed me with open arms to East Castle Place and gave me that warm welcome that East Castle Place is known for, and it's been fantastic. So thank you for that, and please, fellow residents that are watching this, welcome and thank your council members. Again, just a few things: the Employee Appreciation Fund that the residents guide. Again, that the campaign is going on. So I encourage you, if you would like, it's completely voluntary to donate to the Employee Appreciation Fund. If you have questions about that, see Mike Brever or Libby Sellers. Again, Mike is there just as admin support. He is not, vying for that. Mike has different responsibilities for the community and is doing a fantastic job, of course, but at the same time wants to be there and partnering. So Mike, your resident council is asking for that, and I just want to put a plug in for that. Again, that's completely voluntary. The resident treasure chest, of course, has been just an absolute success. I think we've given out in the last year over $15,000 or $20,000 in scholarships. I know Mike put the total in there. That's been fantastic, and look forward to continuing that. And just overall, so many other contributions that you at Resident Council have had. Look forward to working with the next council and what that looks like. I know there's a number of positions that are going to be open, and look forward to that. So if you have questions about the Resident Council, please see Maureen Scribner. She's helping me out, kind of leading the charge in that along with the current Resident Council, and so I ask you to vote for them. So, all right, I think that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being a part of East Castle Place in this fight against COVID, and supporting each other and supporting your families. I know that there are things going on outside these walls that are out of our control, but you know, I so appreciate coming inside of East Castle Place and being a part of that warm, welcoming family that supports each other, working with staff and encouraging them. So with that, I want to continue to tell you to remain strong, encourage you, support you. We'll get through this. It'll be all right. On a personal note, you know, the time is nearing now that we've hit October. We are due to have a son by the end of this month, and so that's coming fast and furious, which I'm excited for too. Steph's doing well, and we're excited, so we're ready. So thanks for letting me share this, that personal note. All right. With that, I'm going to sign off with a sip. Have just a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week. And I look forward to seeing everybody around. All right, take care. Bye-bye.